The nation's capital is buzzing with tension after a terse White House statement. The air is thick with anticipation, and the city's usual hum has been replaced by a sense of unease. Crowds have gathered outside the White House, their faces illuminated by the glow of camera lights and cell phones, all waiting for answers. News vans line the streets and reporters jostle for position, eager to capture every moment of this unfolding drama. President Donald Trump will address the nation from the Oval Office at 9 o'clock Eastern. The announcement came without warning, catching even seasoned political observers off guard. The White House, usually a symbol of stability, now stands as the epicenter of uncertainty, its windows glowing late into the night as staff prepare for the broadcast. No topic was given, and the announcement halted Washington's normal rhythm. Government offices emptied early, and lawmakers were seen rushing through the Capitol's marble corridors, their faces etched with concern. The city's political machinery, so often in motion, seemed to pause, waiting for clarity. Cable news scrambled, experts speculated, and the city was left wondering. Anchors filled airtime with theories, while analysts debated possible scenarios, ranging from national security threats to personal matters involving the president. The uncertainty only fueled the media frenzy as every network switched to wall-to-wall coverage. What's happening inside the White House? Staffers moved briskly through the halls, their expressions unreadable. Security was visibly heightened, with Secret Service agents stationed at every entrance. The sense of urgency was unmistakable, and rumors swirled about what might be unfolding behind those historic walls. This comes after days of speculation about Trump's health. The president has not been seen in public for several days, and his absence has only added to the growing anxiety. Recent footage of him at public events is being replayed endlessly, as pundits search for clues about his condition. He's been absent from public view, fueling rumors and uncertainty. The press briefing room, usually bustling with activity, now sits eerily quiet, with journalists waiting for any scrap of information. The lack of official updates has left the media and the public alike grasping for answers. The silence from the administration has only intensified the crisis, leaving even senior officials in the dark. Behind closed doors, aides whisper in hushed tones, and the mood is somber. The White House gates remain firmly shut, a physical barrier that mirrors the information blackout. With world leaders and financial markets on edge, international allies and rivals alike are watching closely, seeking any sign of what might come next. On Wall Street, traders monitor the news, and stock tickers flash red as uncertainty rattles the markets. The world holds its breath, aware that whatever is announced tonight could have global repercussions. All eyes are now on the Oval Office, waiting to see if the president will dispel the rumors or confirm fears of a major shift. Newsrooms across the country are abuzz, with journalists and analysts preparing for every possible outcome. The sense of suspense is almost unbearable as the nation waits for the president to speak. The suspense is palpable. Conversations everywhere are dominated by speculation. In homes, offices, and online forums, Americans debate what the announcement could mean for the country's future. Political analysts argue on television, while crowds outside the White House grow larger, their anticipation mounting with every passing minute. The announcement's meaning has become the biggest news story in the world. International media outlets have interrupted regular programming to provide live coverage, and headlines across the globe reflect the gravity of the moment. The world is united in its focus on Washington, awaiting answers. As the clock ticks toward 9, the tension reaches its peak. Every second feels drawn out as the nation collectively holds its breath. The streets of Washington are unusually quiet, the city's energy focused on what is about to unfold. The nation braces for a moment that feels truly historic. People from all walks of life gather in front of televisions and giant screens, united by a shared sense of anticipation. Whatever happens next, it is clear that this night will be remembered for years to come, a turning point in American history. After the White House announcement, the internet erupted. Hashtags like #TrumpsHealth and #Oval Office Speech trended as millions speculated, mixing concern, political spin, and wild theories. The president's absence fueled the frenzy. Users compared his packed past schedules to a now empty calendar. Even his silence on Truth Social was out of character, convincing many that something was wrong. Supporters called the rumors a witch hunt. Critics saw the lack of transparency as proof of a crisis. The online battle lines mirrored the nation's polarization, with social media shaping public perception faster than any official statement. Before the press secretary could speak, millions had already made up their minds. The digital world had created its own reality, and now everyone waited to see if the president's words would match it. Amid the growing panic and swirling rumors about Donald Trump's health, a photo suddenly emerged online, quickly going viral. In the image, Trump is seen smiling confidently at his Virginia golf club, surrounded by lush greens and a handful of supporters. The timing of the photo's release was no accident. It appeared just as speculation about his well-being was reaching a fever pitch. The photo was clearly intended to send a message. Trump was not only healthy, but also relaxed and in control, enjoying a day on the golf course. His casual attire and apparent good spirits were meant to reassure the public and silence doubters. Almost immediately, Trump's allies and supporters began sharing the image across social media platforms, using it as visual proof that the former president was in good health. They argued that the photo was undeniable evidence, hoping to put an end to the rumors and speculation. However, critics and skeptics were quick to respond. News anchors and journalists began questioning the authenticity of the photo. Was it really taken recently, or was it an old image being recycled for political purposes? Some even suggested it could have been staged to manipulate public perception. Adding to the uncertainty, the photo was not released through any official White House channels. There was no accompanying statement or press release to confirm its legitimacy, which only fueled further doubts about its timing and intent. In newsrooms across the country, reporters debated the evidence, scrutinizing every detail of the image. Was the weather consistent with the day it was supposedly taken? Did Trump's appearance match recent sightings? The lack of clear answers left many unconvinced. The man who appeared in the photo alongside Trump insisted in interviews that the image was indeed new, taken just days before. But despite these assurances, skepticism among the public and media only seemed to grow. The photo quickly became more than just a snapshot. It turned into a symbol of the nation's deep divisions. Supporters saw it as proof of media bias and unfair scrutiny, while critics viewed it as a calculated attempt at manipulation. Instead of calming the public, the photo only intensified the debate. Social media feeds filled with speculation and conversations in homes and public spaces grew more heated. The image, meant to reassure, ended up fueling even more confusion and uncertainty. In today's era of deep fakes and digital manipulation, even a simple photograph can no longer be trusted to settle the truth. People questioned not just the timing, but whether the image itself had been altered. As headlines about Trump's health continued to dominate the news, the mystery only deepened. The public was left with more questions than answers, and anxiety continued to mount. All eyes turned to the upcoming official address, which now seemed more critical than ever. People hoped it would finally provide clarity and put the rumors to rest. But as the nation waited, it remained more divided and uncertain than before, with trust in both the media and political leaders at an all-time low. As rumors peaked, the White House launched a counter-offensive. The press secretary denied all speculation, insisting Trump was in excellent health and simply taking private meetings. A statement from the White House physician attributed visible bruising to a minor routine procedure. The administration hoped to neutralize rumors with these reassurances, but the lack of specifics and Trump's continued absence left many unconvinced. Critics argued that only a live appearance would truly settle the issue. The White House's controlled messaging was seen by some as stonewalling, increasing pressure on the evening address. The nation demanded real answers, not just statements. The information chaos deepened when AI chatbots spread false details about the golf club photo, claiming it was old. This AI-generated error went viral, adding to the confusion. The radio host in the photo tried to clarify, but gave the wrong date, compounding the mess. Now, both human and artificial sources were fueling misinformation. The story shifted from Trump's health to the reliability of information itself. The incident exposed how easily technology can amplify confusion in a crisis. Public trust eroded further, and the need for a clear statement from the president became urgent. The nation needed a human answer to a problem technology had only made worse. With the country on edge and uncertainty hanging in the air, Vice President J.D. Vance stepped forward, taking on the role of chief reassurer. In a moment when the nation was searching for stability and answers, all eyes turned to him. Vance, known for his composed demeanor, became the face of the administration's response, tasked with calming nerves and projecting confidence. In a series of high-profile media appearances, Vance projected an image of calm and unwavering loyalty. He spoke directly to the American people, insisting that President Trump was in good spirits, fully engaged, and working tirelessly behind the scenes. Vance's words were carefully chosen, designed to reassure both the public and the political establishment that the administration remained focused and united. Subtly, Vance addressed the question on everyone's mind: what if he needed to step in? He made it clear that he was ready to serve if the situation demanded, but he was quick to emphasize that the current leadership was stable and functioning. His message was one of preparedness without panic, signaling that the government had contingency plans in place and that there was no cause for alarm. This moment became a defining test of Vance's own leadership abilities. He had to walk a fine line, demonstrating steadfast support for President Trump, while also showing the nation that he was capable and ready to lead if necessary. His every word and gesture were scrutinized, as Americans looked for signs of both strength and reassurance. The administration's central message was clear: the government is stable, the country is in good hands, and there is no reason to fear. Vance repeated this theme in every appearance, hoping to instill a sense of continuity and calm. For many Americans, Vance's calm and measured approach was exactly what they needed to hear. It reassured them that the government was functioning and that the nation would weather this storm. But for others, his composure seemed almost too controlled, raising suspicions that the situation was more serious than officials were letting on. As Vance took center stage, the media's speculation about the president's true condition only intensified. Journalists and commentators dissected his every statement, searching for hidden meanings or signs of deeper trouble within the administration. Vance's words were intended to put an end to the swirling rumors, but for many, they simply added another layer to the unfolding political drama. The more he spoke, the more questions seemed to arise, fueling a sense of intrigue and uncertainty. Across the country, anxious citizens remained glued to their screens, waiting for the president's own voice to break the silence. Until then, the nation held its breath, caught between reassurance and doubt, hoping for clarity in a time of crisis. The focus on Trump's health is magnified by his age. At 79, he's the oldest president ever. Every appearance is scrutinized for signs of frailty, and recent history has heightened the stakes. Joe Biden's withdrawal from the previous race due to health concerns set a precedent, making age a central issue. The public's worry is practical. Can the president handle the job's demands? Brief statements from doctors no longer suffice. The nation now expects full transparency. The shadow of Biden's exit has reshaped expectations, turning Trump's health into a test of trust and accountability. The administration's reassurances face unprecedented skepticism. Trump broke his silence on Truth Social, blasting the fake news media and declaring, "I have never felt better." He promised a historic address, using his signature style to project strength and defiance. His posts rallied supporters, reframing the story as media malpractice rather than personal weakness. Trump deflected scrutiny by pointing to other politicians' health, broadening the debate. For his base, the posts were proof of vigor. For critics, they signaled defensiveness. The lack of a live appearance still loomed large. The social media blitz energized his followers but failed to convince skeptics. The stage was set for a high-stakes address that would have to do what his posts could not: reassure the nation. As night falls, a tense quiet settles over the country. Families gather, televisions tuned in, waiting for a speech that feels historic. The outcome could reaffirm stability or plunge the nation into uncertainty. Trump faces a critical test: project strength and clarity, or risk eroding his authority. The world is watching to see if American democracy can weather this storm. The White House, the Vice President, and Trump himself have all made their cases. Now speculation gives way to the president's own words. The red light blinks on, Trump looks into the camera, and the nation waits. Will his words bring relief or turmoil? The answer will shape the country's future. In these final moments, America holds its breath, awaiting what comes next.